This looks like a really tight contest again. We've got the Tideway Scullers getting advantage.
Yeah, looking here, the Tideway Scullers are sculling really nice and neatly here, pushing it on and really getting themselves perfectly placed. And this boat steered by somebody who's holding a foot, a rudder on the foot, not a coxswain in this boat. So one of the athletes, it's their responsibility to make sure the boat is where it needs to be. And look here now at Hinksey Sculling School. It's great to see James Lamboll in there in the 2 seat. I saw his brother Alex, who had been trying to qualify for Newcastle earlier in the week, and he was talking to me about how good it was to see not one but 2 boats from Hinksey Sculling School here at the regatta.
So this boat more used to doing their work on the Tideway of the Thames up near Chiswick Bridge, West London, if you know your geography of the UK rowing venues. This stretch of water very different, but good practice, and they've looked well drilled and well organised in this one.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it, to see how these young athletes, again, this is the schoolboys event, so they have to be 17 or 18 years of age, and Fawley Challenge, the Tideway Scullers School, they are all 17 in that boat, and we have an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old. Actually, they don't have to be 17, they can be under 18 at the time of the regatta, under 19 at the time of the regatta there, and we have a 16-year-old stroking that Hinksey Sculling School B. But there we are, watching the Tideway Scullers School.
That's Thomas Patrick's back, you can see, in the bow seat of the Tideway Scullers School. And they look like they've got this race sorted. Angus Laurie, Morley Pendred and Indy Regan.
And those yellow and red blades of Tideway Scullers, they're always really easy to see. You can see their stripes across the tops there. We're now looking at that same boat from the other angle, and look how beautifully these athletes are pressing the boat. Their bodies actually are doing slightly different things if you're looking up and down the boat, but that isn't impacting the boat at all. They're making sure they're picking it up with their hands, they're pressing it nicely and moving the second half of the stroke well.
Big responsibility for Indy Regan here, isn't it, in terms of communicating and also setting the stroke rate. Presumably he's doing a lot of that. Is big role when you've got that responsibility in a first round Henley Royal Regatta day out when you're only 17 years old.
Definitely, and Patrick there, it's Thomas Patrick in the bow seat. He's got the steers first, and actually what I think you have in the calling, we saw it in the boats earlier, it's usually the 2 or 3 athletes that does the calls, because when you're going backwards at pace, obviously you don't have so much breath. You have to make sure everyone can hear. So the calls will probably have been rehearsed, and they'll be precise and clean, and either the 2 or the 3 man in this point will be doing those calls, I suspect.
Yeah, not a time to be verbose or waffly.
No, if you're going to change the plan, don't do it very, very clearly.
Yes, and concisely. So they have done well, the Tideway Scullers. So I don't think they need to change their plans too much in the next minute. In front of the steward's enclosure they go, heading for the line now. So a little glance over the shoulder, that was interesting, just having a look there. Indy Regan in the stroke seat for the Tideway Scullers had a look right over his shoulder to see where that finish line was, and he'll be pleased to see it's there now. Indy Regan, Morley Pendred, Angus Laurie and Thomas Patrick over the line with the Tideway Scullers School heading through in the Fawley Challenge Cup.
Yeah, Tideway Sculling School looking relaxed there, pleased with their morning's work.